streaming to you live high above the keep in the hot air balloon. With me, as always, Neindorf. How you doing tonight?
Doing great this evening. How about yourself?
Doing okay. So tonight we're trying to do a couple things. One, we're testing my internet to see if my combination of new settings and slight tweaks by my internet service provider are working and working well enough for me to stream for our wonderful listeners out there. So hopefully, you can hear us loud and clear. Although, with that said, Grady has been telling me about every day that he's enjoyed listening to Kells, Neindorf, and I speak at half speed. He said it sounds like we're all stoned around a campfire. So maybe we
Uh,
have that to look forward to at ETH Denver next year.
that's
Um,
right.
all right. And I'm saying they can't hear me. That's not good. Mic too low.
Just yourself, or is it?
Okay, let me. Oh boy! All right. How about that? I was too quiet. See, this is good. I had the kids playing at the desk today, and they adjusted the microphone volume. So hopefully you can hear me now. All right.
I'll take
So
a little blame on that one. When we were testing ahead of time, I had to turn my volume on my computer up. I didn't even think about it. So, you know what? Throw a little blame my way.
that's all right. That's all right. Okay. So first thing that I want to jump into tonight is I want to talk about. We have some big announcements about launch. We got a date. We got a time. So that's coming up on the 7th. And you're a bit worried about your compromised account still, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. So that it was kind of bad, maybe the worst timing actually, because they'd already taken the snapshots, and so I couldn't move. If I moved that locked jewel somewhere, it wouldn't have mattered. And then B, the team is kind of really busy trying to get all these features done. So, I'm trying to decide between, do I just have to sit there and keep hitting refresh with these compromised accounts, or I'm trying to get into touch with the team, and maybe get that shifted. But they kind of made a note that they're very hesitant to make any like wallet transitions manually, because of some of the things that happened with the FUD
Right,
earlier.
right.
They basically just don't want to be involved in it, which I totally understand. But I want them to be involved in this one a little bit.
Yeah, and they've also released the announcement on the distribution on the pools as well. And I feel like we are going to have even more options than we had going into Crystal Vale. What are we going to do? And again, for all of our folks out there, this is not financial advice. We have no idea what we're doing. We're just recklessly speculating, as we always do.
Yeah, so I looked over the new gardens, the token emissions. And one thing I noticed, you just staring at them, is there's a lot of 10% out there. They've got this pool kind of piecemeal split up a lot. And then, to counter that, there's a couple that are smaller, and it's things that are paired with AVAX. Makes sense. They want you in Crystal Vale if you're going to pair with AVAX, I believe. Um, and then the rest of it is kind of just choose between game token, or game token and some other prominent token. So it's kind of, there's a lot of choices here, and I think it's a really good mix that you can kind of determine, where do you want to be if you're worried about impermanent loss, or where do you want to be if you're super bullish. So I think you got both options here.
Right. So, catching back up to our live chat here, Sergeant's asking, does the vote that helped Ogre help you, Neindorf? And I don't think it does, because that allowed him to recover, I believe it was Lock Jewel that was stolen. And
Correct.
for you, your Lock Jewel has not landed in your wallet yet, because we're in this like weird puberty phase of like
Yeah.
growing up.
So I filled out that same form for as if my locked jewel had been stolen, because it was kind of the best option that we saw that day when you kind of helped me talk to the team, because I was kind of out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't blame you.
and obviously it's not the right form, but at least I was able to say, here's the wallet that's bad, here's the new wallet. And they're like, where's the locked crystal or locked jewel reside right now? I'm like, well, it's in the same wallet, but again, the snapshot doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it was bizarre.
Yeah. And so Grady, shout out to Grady here, says he has Hubert coming on tomorrow and he's willing to ask. So thank you, Grady.
Oh, I appreciate that. Totally.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you were trying to reach out to Bolon, and the team has a whole bunch of balls in the air at the moment with the launch coming in just 2 days' time. So I'm really excited. I think what I'm looking at potentially is going after some more jewel staking, and so I'm actually thinking about buying a little bit of a bag tonight in preparation of jewel, and then staking that at S Jewel over on Sarandale to try to
Nice.
keep my rewards of jewel balance. So
Do you think that's
yeah,
been driving Jewel up? You think other people are kind of thinking similarly?
it must be what people are thinking, and I mean I'm really bullish on Jewel in the long term. Again, not financial advice, but I think if they get half the market that they're hoping to get on Clayton, you need Jewel to play the game, and so and furthermore, you need Jewel for the power ups, and they're really teasing some juicy power ups out there to come in the future, and so a lot of this is future speculation, of course, but that's I think Jewel's where I want to be, and I hope that we're looking back, in a few months from now, and we're saying, gosh, 33 cents, I can't believe it was that low. It
Oh,
was down to
absolutely.
what 11 and 12 cents once upon a time. So I think 10.7 at one point, right?
The floor, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely remember it chilling at 12 for a bit, and I had bought a bunch then, and yeah. Anyway.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, also, Eric's here is saying ask Sachet. He might be able
oh,
to
okay.
help as well, which
Cool.
great advice there.
Yeah, he's a lot more. I feel like active at times on Discord. I'd probably be able to just bump into him almost.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so something else I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm really excited to see that my stream health is still excellent on YouTube. Even though my kilobytes per second, I'm getting in the red on OBS here. But it feels like everyone is. We're not going at half speed yet. So Grady, let me know if you're listening to us stoned around a campfire yet. Um, and so, all right. We have a Fight Club tournament, two Fight Club tournaments going on right now. So in the notes, I have a link to Fight Club that the entrants are now closed. But something that you've been working on is developing the an app around accessing the tournaments, organizing the tournaments, and then like displaying results. Give us a little bit of a dev dive on what you have going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've kind of got the intake. We're kind of doing this slowly over time, tournament by tournament, kind of improving this process. And, this time it was really getting those payments tracked, and we had pretty good success there. This is the typical things, you got to make sure when you send the crystal that it's with your ADFK registered wallet, not a different wallet. Otherwise, I don't know who to credit the money to. So keep that in mind, our listeners. But yeah, moving forward, you're absolutely right, and we want to get into where the seating and the bracketing is automatically generated. And then I think probably this one of the second phases is going to be results entry. And for now, it's probably going to be our host is going to have to manually go in and click, uh, person X beat person Y. We don't quite have an API that's kind of live between us and Fight Club. We've talked about that. We'll probably work that in at some point. But until we get that, it'll probably be a manual host entry. And then, of course, third and final would be eventually we want the site to, once the host completes the auction and the finals are done, it'll just auto distribute the crystal to the winners, really taking that burden off the organizers so they can kind of focus on, having fun and promoting it.
Yeah, yeah. So I see Noonie from the Unity Guild on here, and I saw earlier today on one of the discords, Noonie was organizing a duels tournament. So this is a bit farther out there, but walk us through like this tournament organizer could be used for making the lives of duels tournament organizers a lot easier, right?
Yeah, correct. I mean, honestly, the only part that's different about how a Fight Club tournament would be run, at least shortly here, and a duels tournament would be possibly the seeding. We're seeding people based on their Fight Club heroes stats and things like that. Whereas duels, there aren't the Fight Club stats don't matter for duels, but that's easy enough. We'll just when you're creating a tournament, you'll select your seeding style. You'll select Fight Club or duels or so on and so forth. But yeah, then honestly, yeah, other than that, as far as the concepts where the site already has, where you have to own the hero, they have to be certain levels, you have to meet the criteria, like all that should be perfectly translatable
Awesome.
uh, from Fight Club to duels.
Well, Noonie, connect with us on Discord. Let's DM about this. We want to get some of your advice on how can we make sure that we're tailoring this to make the life of an organizer easier. And part of this, just like with Fight Club, and you can stake your heroes in a defensive position to gain you passive income. We're also hoping that this tournament organizer tool allows the organizer themselves to reap the rewards of actually recruiting people. So they're spending time doing that recruiting instead of doing the manual grind of updating brackets and updating ticket results and that kind of thing, which, as we can attest to, is a huge pain in the butt. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that, and yeah, shoot us some notes on what you'd like to see.
Yeah, maybe real quick to polish off Dev Dive. Everybody in the Discord probably noticed everyone shouted it out, but we did recently just add uh, visuals, some of the visuals at least, to the tavern, or sorry, the hero matching. So people who've been summoning heroes and trying to go for those visual mutations kind of been left out. But I just this weekend added the back appendage, the head, hair, and then the hairstyle. Sorry, I'm blanking a bit. I didn't get to the colors yet. I haven't seen the demand for those, but if the demand does rise, I'll look to put those in as well. And then the final other thing I added is someone just asked for tavern alerts, having whether or not you could check if it's a PJ hero. And I was like, you know what? I can't believe I've never added that. So I went in and put that in real quick. So look out for those features. Those are out there now live. If you guys need them, use them.
Yeah, and those visual features. So I was practicing up for the Baby Cup and fighting Delay last night. And if you know Delay in the ADFK guild, like best looking heroes on the planet, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
who shows up but a bearded pirate? And I was intimidated. I was so intimidated. I am still scared. Like a bearded pirate. Like, can it be better than that? Like, I mean, that's awesome. So, awesome to Delay for having those good looking heroes. I'm still pulling for our idea on. I've put a post on about as many Kingdom Builders sites as I could imagine, talking about we need a hairstylist as a guild achievement on land that lets you like re-roll your visual traits. Like, I can't wait for that. That's again reckless speculation, but hoping for that in the future.
A power up. There you go.
All right. Oh, Eric's here is bouncing in some good feedback on Dev Dive here. I'd like to see a sophisticated ancestry tool. Too bad the DFK Tavern is offline. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
So it did go down, and I saw that tweet where it was kind of his like, adios. It's been fun. So it is on my list now. On our hero data page where it showed descendants. I think in the fairly near future you might see one that says show ancestors. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to you for keeping your head on the grindstone, nose on the grindstone. I don't know what the
Whatever part you keep.
yeah, whatever body part you keep on the grindstone. Especially going through getting personally hacked as well, because it feels like a lot of these support tools, like the grind is real.
It
And
is.
we're here for the community. Honestly, if it wasn't for like this incredible community of both listeners on the podcast and guild members on the Discord channel, I mean, we wouldn't still be doing this. Like that's what's keeping us going. That's our rocket fuel right now.
Oh yeah, totally. And and I even mentioned it when I released some of those features, like when people like give shout outs and be like, "Oh, that's awesome, thank you," and then someone will go repost it for me on the main Discord. I'm like, that's what I'm here for. Like people are enjoying this, and it's people are having fun, and I'm hoping it provides value that they can go turn into a more valuable heroes if it's summoning, or b maybe just it's finding that perfect hero in the tavern you've been you don't want to waste your time searching the tavern, basically, like we've been saying for, I don't know, over a year now, I feel like.
Right, right. So massive thank you to the community out there, and Eric's here. It's on its way. It will get here soon. So, um, all right, and Eric's here saying so. He's just responding to a question from Crypto Grady. Okay, so um, Sergeant Filthy McNasty, then he lined up my next topic perfectly. He said, when Fight Club Wisdom Lab Invitational. So, okay.
Uh,
It won't be a collaboration with Fight Club. It's going to be an Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms collaboration, but we are going to do an IRL, in real life raid of Wisdom Labs Studios. So, we're gonna go drive up to Minneapolis. I know I got Grady lined up. I told him it was going to be in January, and he said, "What about the snow?" And I said, "F the snow. We're driving up to Minneapolis." And Grady's from Missouri, so right, or Kansas. Can't remember. Um,
Northern South,
a
let's
little
call
a
it.
little south of us, and us Iowans were so much more ready for the snow than you Missourians. So we're driving up. It's going to be sometime in January. We're looking at maybe the second, third, fourth week. I don't know. We haven't even decided. We're trying to time it right with when can we potentially get some good alpha on the PvP that's being designed, and we want to invite all of you. So I talked about this on Grady's podcast the other night, and I'm going to talk with we're talking with the DeFi Kingdoms team later this week. We're going to try to get like some giveaways lined up. So if you end up making the trip, I hope Pieface gives me at least 5 bloater plushies to give away to like anyone who wants to make the perilous journey up to, that's what we should call it. We should call it the PJ to Minneapolis. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, so all right. So that's our plan. We're planning on going to Mall of America, visit Wisdom Gaming, Wisdom Labs, the entire collaboration, and we want to give the community like the on the feet on the ground analysis of how set up are they, like, do we trust them, are they good. I feel like they're going to be great. Like that podcast between Ian from Wisdom Labs and Risen and Bolin, like, and Hubert, that was amazing. Like I really got pulled in. So we're going to be demanding in-person interviews, and we're going to do as much streaming live as we can to try to represent what Rock 808 and the Mythic Squad and Grady did out there in DC, Miami. As I was telling Neindorf today, I'm getting a little bit of FOMO. Like, you're out at ETH Denver, Kels and Grady were out at DC, Miami. Like, I really want to go have fun at an real life event.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get that. And honestly, I would love to have another go at it because it was just me solo and it was pretty early for East Denver, like in our community. Like I knew nobody and I tried to chat with a few people, but man, it's when you're going in cold and solo, it can be a little intimidating. Uh so my one goal for this in real life raid is I want a sneak peek. I want them to show me some little snippet of code and then I'll report back on if I feel like they're building the quality product from my viewpoint or not. I think that'd be kind of fun.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Sergeant saying you guys have to make use of the studio at Wisdom. Yeah, I mean they have a whole gaming studio set up, right? I mean their
Yeah.
whole shtick, well, not shtick. I mean their business, like, it's not a shtick. It's an actual business, is around gaming. And
Right.
so I agree with that. I think I agree. Couldn't agree more. Thank you, Sergeant. Are you gonna make the flight, Sergeant? You're in, I believe, San Diego, if I can remember correctly. Eric's here saying Wisdom will probably have a bunch of NDAs waiting for you at the door. Potentially, I have cleared it with their marketing person. So I asked, like, are you open to visitors on the studio, and they said yes, we are. So I took that as my invitation to show up whenever. So we're gonna try to we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it the fun way here. That's for sure. Oh,
I've signed
and crypto.
NDAs
Oh,
before. I
sorry to
know how they
interrupt.
work.
Crypto Grady just confirmed that Sarge is flying in. So yeah, Sergeant, there it is.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, that's what we had on the docket to talk about. Glad we had a chance to test out the internet. We're probably going to keep this podcast a little short tonight. Anything else that you wanted to go through, Neindorf?
Um, I think all I have to say is let's look forward to a Wednesday. We're gonna do another summons night, right?
Yeah, the last Wednesday was just lit. I mean, we had some fire summons going on. First time guy, gosh, what was his name? I can't remember off the top of my head, but we had a little bit of a summons train going on. That was a whole bunch of fun, and the most people we've ever had on summons night. And I feel like I did not really have a chance to give away the summoning stones. So I don't know, what do we need to
You've been
do as
failing.
incentives? Like I feel
Nobody
like
wants them.
yeah, it's certainly on me feeling to deliver the summoning stones, but at some point I'm starting to get frustrated with the people that are joining. Like, they're not even giving me their OX, so I can't even send them out.
Well, and they're coming, and like when we switch over to them, like these people, like I don't know, our community is awesome, and like they're already set up, they got their heroes ready, and they're showing the ADFK app site, like here's the heroes, here's the mustard, as we've been told, they're hunting,
Yeah.
and then they're moving right along with the stones and everything loaded, so they don't even give you a chance to need, they don't need one because they've already purchased it and all that. So I don't know,
All right.
awesome community.
All right. Well, we'll be back on Wednesday for Raph and Neindorf. Have a good night.